Hi everyone. Hi and welcome to the launch of a beautiful lady. I should call her my soul sister actually because I feel like she is. The beautiful Cinnamon. So tonight Cinnamon is launching her business for the first time. She jumped in a few days ago, so I'm very excited that I have the privilege to do this for her, to host this for her. So I'm Tanya and I've been in the business for 14 months. And I was introduced to this business because I was really unwell. And after 4 days on the product, I fell in love with it so much that I jumped in to the business because to me it made complete sense. It's not just the business that made complete sense, but so did the product. It just, I'm a real natural girl, and for me, knowing that I'm putting extra nutrients from fruits and veggies into my body was a no-brainer, really. So what we're going to show you tonight is we're going to show you about our fabulous product and our program. And then we're also going to show you a little bit about our business and how Cinnamon can see her way forward through this journey to create that freedom and the income that she wants. But also you'll hear a lot of stories from us as well, from the rest of her team, that also around what we're doing and what we love about this product and about this business. So thank you all for coming and for supporting Cinnamon. It's really nice that she's got so much love around her. It's fantastic. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. So I'm going to pass you over to the beautiful Ashley, and she's going to tell you all about our wonderful product and program.
Hi. Cool. So basically I came into this because so many of my areas, so many of my health was suffering. So I could notice my mental, spiritual, physical and emotional health was suffering in most of those areas. And I'm sure most of you could agree that there's some form of something that's suffering there in life because we're just not nourishing ourselves, we're not filling our cup up enough, and we're not nourishing our souls enough. Unfortunately, what happens is we end up living this whole mundane cycle of day-to-day life of getting up, working Monday to Friday, working for someone else, not filling our cup up and not fulfilling our needs and things that actually light us up, which then shows up and turns up somewhere in our body. So for me, I came across this because I was working so many hours. I was sick of working so many hours for somebody else that wasn't appreciating me. And I also knew that I was very, very nutrient depleted because so many of my areas, so many of my health was suffering. So I realized that this program was such a catalyst for change. So when I came across this, yes, I was skeptical, just like most of you on here. But I knew that things needed to change. I knew that I needed change, and I knew that this was presented to me for a reason. I knew that either someone invited me to take a look at this, or it was landed in my lap because I was looking for something and I needed change. And so fast track, about just over a year ago, my life has completely changed. So I'm about to share with you what we do online and what we utilize in our program. So before this, just to give you a bit of a background, I actually suffered with quite bad acne. I had quite bad adult acne, and I always have had it at quite some stages of my life, and it just seemed to flare up every time I got stressed or worked too much. I was working 50 to 60 hour weeks in a hospitality toxic environment, which just wasn't serving me. So therefore I wasn't nourishing myself at all. And I enjoy yoga and meditation and all of those beautiful things that also nourish our soul, which I also wasn't doing because I was so busy working. So this just fell into my lap at the perfect time when I needed it. Not only did I need health, but I also needed funds, and I needed an escape out of that day-to-day life. I needed some way out. I couldn't do that for the rest of my life. I couldn't sit there for 40 hours a week for 40 years of my life. And so I found this as a beautiful opportunity to actually inspire others to take back their life, help others take back their life, help others take back their health. And I saw such a similar pattern everywhere I went. My family, my friends, people on Facebook, people on social media, people were suffering with autoimmune conditions, skin conditions, mental health, depression, anxiety, cancers, and the list goes on. We've got so many different areas of people's health, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that were suffering, as well as kids. There's so many disorders out there these days. So I thought, what better way to get myself healthy, but also help others get healthier. So our program is an all online based program. We have a mindfulness component because we know that filling our cup up, mind, body, and soul, is going to accelerate our life to a whole new level. So when we combine all three, we really do accelerate our life to a whole new level. So making sure that we're ticking things off, like our program does consist of mindfulness guides. So within that mindfulness guide, we do have meditation programs. We've got emotional coaching, spiritual coaching. We've got things in there and affirmations and gratitude programs, self-love tools, so that you're really filling that cup up from the inside. And then you've got things like meal guides, recipes, over 300 recipes, so you'll never get bored with the recipes. They're delicious, by the way. They're not just chicken and broccoli, like, they're delicious. And there's like sweet treats, so you'll never have to deprive yourself of anything in our program. There's sweet treats, there's cheesecakes and all different delicious things in there. There's also kids wholesome guides, so if you've got kids, you're really fueling that whole food back into your kids. You've got entertaining guides. So with Christmas coming up, you've got Christmas and entertaining guides in there as well, so that you're not missing out and you're making sure that your family doesn't miss out as well. It's family friendly. No dieting, no deprivation, meal plans, so that you don't really have to think about what to have for dinner. You can follow a meal plan if that suits you as well. There's shopping guides in there as well, so you don't have to think about when you're going to the grocery shop. You can really start replacing that whole lifestyle change within the home. So you've also got at-home workouts as well, exercise guides, gratitude and exercise journals. And all of this program is all online. It comes to you free with our products, which I'll explain very shortly. So that you don't have to go anywhere for this. It's accessible for life, so which I find really cool, because it's actually sustaining a lifestyle change rather than just short-term results. We have competitions and shreds also for accelerated weight loss, but we do like people to enjoy the program for life. So that's a little bit about our program. What we also found with the program is as we're nourishing all of those areas of whole food and recipes and workouts and nourishing the mind, we also came across a product that also supports the program, which is Juice Plus. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of it. They look a little bit like this. I know I was skeptical too when I heard the name product and when I saw that they came in a canister, because like I said, our program is completely about whole food and getting more whole food into your body. So this literally is the essence of fruits, veggies and berries. So there we've got the berries, the fruit, and the green one being the veggies. So really all it is the essence of 30 whole fruits and veggies, juiced up, pulverized in a big machine. The seeds, the stem, the skin, every little part that holds nutrition goes into this machine to pulverize into this machine. Whereas usually what we're eating, we're throwing away all of that good nutrition. We're throwing away like the lemon peel and the peels and all of that stuff that actually holds the most nutrition. We throw it out. So whereas here, we're getting everything in there. It gets pulverized. It then gets dehydrated super low, so none of the enzymes and phytonutrients are affected. They're dehydrated super low at low temperatures. And then what happens is the water is extracted in that dehydration process, which takes away the sugar component of the fruit and the vegetables. So the sugar is taken out, which leaves all of those beautiful phytonutrients and phytochemicals working together in the body to really heal the body, on a cellular level. So then it's encapsulated, it's put into a capsule, it's a vegan capsule. Now what I really love about this is that before I came across this, I thought I was doing pretty well with my fruit and veg. I come across a lot of people that just say, why don't you just eat the real thing? What I didn't realize is that a lot of our fruit and veg that we're buying in stores right now are actually picked way too early. So they're picked 4 to 6 weeks way too early. As you can see green bananas still on the shelf. They're picked way too early. And most of that nutrition actually happens on the vine. It happens in the last 2 weeks of vine ripening when it's on the vine. So what Juice Plus does is pick it at its peak ripeness while all the nutrition is right there, and it just gets processed straight away as soon as it picks, rather than going into holding yards where usually our produce that we're going to Coles, Woolies, or going to the supermarkets and buying, they are picked very early. They're also gas ripened with lots of chemicals. They're also sprayed and waxed with lots of chemicals to make it look shiny and beautiful, which is where we're seeing that lack of nutrition, which is why we are lacking in so many different things. We're so deficient because we think we're eating the right amount. We think we're eating our variety that we should be, but actually we're so nutrient depleted. The food industry has completely taken over. It's actually put its first priority to quantity over quality. So this really is ensuring that you've got quality in here, vine ripened fruits and veggies, over 30 varieties in here. So you're getting the whole variety of the spectrum. You're ticking off all of those colors so that you're raising your vibration through all of those beautiful colors. So I love that that makes sense. We all know that we need fruits and veggies. We all know that we're really, really busy and we just don't get time to eat the variety we should. So that bridges the gap. Now that by all means does not mean that you don't eat fruits and veggies because you've eaten them. Our program means that you eat more because you're craving more on a cellular level. They're absorbed into your body within 3 to 5 minutes. So unlike your synthetic vitamin pill or your supplement that you're taking that you bought from the chemist, where it's synthetically derived, it's isolated, this is whole food. Our body recognizes it, so it goes to work in our cells on a cellular level, which means it's healing all of those beautiful things. We see some beautiful things happen when it really goes to work on a cellular level and it's been absorbed into your body, which we're going to hear a little bit about tonight. We're going to hear some stories from different people who have healed different things in their body. And it does really work for everyone differently, which is really cool. What I love best is that they're a company with heart, so they do sponsor children for free. So if you've got kids or even kids in your family that you know you'd love to help add more fruits and veggies to their diet, because we all know how fussy they are, and it can be hard to get the variety and the rainbow variety of fruits and veg on their plate and into their mouths. So this does ensure that they're eating the correct variety of fruits and veggies. Through the free, we've got chewable forms, so they look just like this. There's none left because they're delicious. They're fruits and veggies in a chewable form, exactly the same principle as what's in the capsule, 17 whole varieties of just the fruits and veg. And it just goes into a tapioca starch, so it's mixed with a bit of tapioca starch. Again, completely vegan, so there's nothing added, no GMO, no additives, no sugars, and mixed with a bit of fruit pectin as well to make it palatable for the kids. So that's completely free with any adults order. We do have also our omegas. They're plant-based omegas, so they skip the fish and go straight to the source, which the fish feed on. To get the omegas, which is the algae in the bottom of the ocean. It's also got a whole list of plant-based ingredients in there to help with your omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So it's omega blend, which is beautiful. It's amazing for depression, heart health, your moods, eye health, so many different areas. Joints are amazing for omegas. So even if you Google the benefits of omegas, there's so many benefits of omegas, and to be able to get it from a plant source where it's bioavailable to your cells and you're skipping out on all of that mercury and all of the different toxins that come from the fish. And last but not least is our protein powders. So our micronutrient range are the capsules, which is fruits, veggies and berries, really simple. And then the macronutrients, which is our proteins, carbs and fats, a beautiful blend of all of that coming from a plant-based source as well. So you're getting things like yucca, pomegranate, spirulina, mushroom, alfalfa, broccoli, radish sprouts, pea protein, all of these beautiful things in a chocolate or vanilla. So I love those, and it doesn't actually taste like a protein. I've had so many different proteins and I love that they just taste like a chocolate or vanilla milkshake. Perfect for a quick brekkie on the go, a quick snack when you're feeling something naughty. And it's getting so many different superfoods into your body without you even realizing. You can use it in baking, cooking, cookies, pancakes. That it's so versatile. Even kids. What I love is our whole range is pregnant and breastfeeding safe. So I love that you're fueling your kids with so much goodness. Even before they're born, you can start fueling them with this beautiful goodness. So that's basically our program and products in a nutshell, helping you to raise your vibration, live your best life, and to be able to say yes to more because you're feeling better, because you're filling your cup up. And we're all about filling your cup up. So we're going to hear some beautiful stories tonight from some other people who have got some different benefits along the way. And yes, look forward to speaking to you soon. I'll pass you back to Kat. 2 tons.
Thanks. I'll just pretend to be. Thanks so much. I love the way you do product and program. It's really nice. Thanks, Ash. So yeah, and Ashley was right. We're actually going to listen to some stories tonight of some different stories, different people in the team that have had some really good results from the products. So first of all, I'm going to pass you on over to Jo, and she's going to tell us her story. Thanks, honey.
Cool, thank you. Hi, everyone. So I was diagnosed with endometriosis at the end of 2016. So that's a condition where the lining of your uterus grows in places that it shouldn't. It's really common. About 1 in 10 women get it. It's also incurable. They don't know why it happens, and it can grow back even after you get surgery to remove it. So it's really debilitating. Even after my surgery, I was still in a lot of pain. It was better. So it was sort of 2 to 3 days per cycle instead of like a full week, which was like before. But it still meant having painkillers on me at all times, unpredictable flare-ups, which would leave me in excruciating, like contraction-like pain for up to 8 hours at a time. It was really exhausting and frustrating, and I didn't think it would get any better. Like, I'd had the surgery and it didn't really get better after that. So I started taking Juice Plus about 7 months ago now. Initially for more energy, which I felt pretty quickly in the first couple of weeks, as well as better sleep. But slowly over the last couple of months, I've noticed massive improvements in my endo pain to the point now where it's a lot less intense. I don't really need to take painkillers anymore. If I do get any like niggles or pain or anything, it sort of disappears quite quickly. And yeah, it's been such a relief because it got really exhausting and frustrating. And when you start to feel better, you sort of realize how used to being in pain all the time that you are. Like, it sort of becomes your normal. And yeah, now I feel so much better, as well as a whole list of other things that have changed. Like, I haven't had any cold sores since being on the products. I used to get quite a lot of headaches, which I don't anymore. So much more energy and better sleep. I wake up feeling so refreshed and with a clearer mind, like not that brain fog that a lot of us get. So I started just taking the fruit and veg, and I've added all the products now. So I love them so much. So we have a smoothie in the morning and take all our capsules, and yeah, they've just made such a massive difference for us. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Love your story. I love how you're not taking painkillers. That's the best part. It's so cool. Thank you for sharing. So now I'm going to pass you on over to the lovely Nora, and she's going to tell us about her story.
Yes. Hi guys. So before JP, my family and I, we definitely weren't on the right track without eating or exercise. Me personally, I was eating and craving a lot of sugary, fatty food, which my body had come accustomed to, you know, over years. I wasn't eating enough fruit and veg, and neither was my family. I'm used to be a breakfast skipper, which is really bad. I was always tired, had no energy. The kids would get sick all the time, and I knew something needed to change. And then my best friend Ash introduced me to Juice Plus. At first, I was really skeptical. But I trusted Ash enough to just hop on all the products and give it a try. That was nearly 4 months ago. And since then, I've noticed some dramatic changes in both mine and my family's health. My energy levels are through the roof. My overall mood is a lot better. And I have psoriasis. It comes up like over here and behind my ear, and it's nearly cleared up, which is weird because I didn't think, you know, taking these products could do that, but it's just, yeah, it's cleared up. So that was a bonus because I didn't think that would help with it. My kids, well, me and my kids, we have the shakes most mornings. Yeah, they're yum. They didn't get sick this winter at all, which is amazing. And thanks to our JBT program, I've managed to drop some weight. So that was awesome. But overall, I love our product, and I'm so happy that I said yes and gave it a try. And just hope that, you know, someone else sees this and sees the stories and thinks, yes, I'm going to give this a try. So thank you.
Thank you, Nora. That's a really nice story. I haven't even heard your story before. It's so good to hear that the psoriasis cleared up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well done. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, honey. So, so for me, I was quite unwell, so I've been unwell for about 4 years. And, you know, the beauty of this product is that obviously everybody has different stories and everybody has different reasons for jumping in. But for me, it was definitely ill health. And I had been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, so I had chronic bladder pain every single day. And then I was just told that, you know, I've got this for life. There's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to manage what you eat. And I was given a whole list of foods not to eat, and most of them were fruits and veggies. And I was horrified because I was a real holistic kind of person, and I always looked for anything that was natural before anything else. So I went on this mission to heal myself, and so I spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month on everything natural, supplements, therapies, treatments, different modalities, you name it, I tried it, and nothing was really helping. And then about 3 years in, I was diagnosed with leaky gut and adrenal fatigue. And so for me, that not only was that chronic bladder pain that I was having every day, but I was losing my hair. I was absolutely exhausted. I felt like an absolute zombie. And I struggled to get through my day. I had cold sores constantly. I had UTIs and thrush, and I had skin rashes all over my skin, mostly dermatitis. And I just, struggled with gut issues. I had pain in my hands and my knuckles and my joints. And so, obviously I had got to a point where I thought, something needs to change because obviously what I'm doing is not working. And it was at that point that I saw my friend who was also really unwell. I watched her get better. And so I, at this point, realised, well, if this is helping her when she's a medical mystery, this might actually help me. So I reached out, and within 2 days, my energy was incredible. 4 days, the cold sore I had on my lip was healed. 2 weeks, the chronic pain had gone. 2 months, my hair stopped falling out and started growing back. And from then, and then 6 months on, the pain in my hands have gone. And, you know, it's been 14 months for me, and I'm still finding things that are really improving. So I'm getting benefits all the time. So this, for me, was an absolute no-brainer. And not only has it given me, you know, my health back and my life back, but it's actually also given me an opportunity to help others to do the same thing with this amazing business that we have behind it. So, you know, because obviously we can talk about this product till the cows come home because it's amazing. But at the end of the day, too, you know, we're all real people. We've got real results, but we've all got different results because the nutrients go into your body where they are needed in your body. So everyone's going to have different results, and we never know what that's going to look like. Some people have amazing stories, and some people are more consistent, and they're a little bit not quite so amazing. It might take them a little bit longer, but they always receive some benefit from it. So we're going to switch gear a little bit, and we're just going to talk a little bit about this amazing business behind it, because it really is incredible. I mean, this product and this business has changed my life and my family's life. And that's, you know, because when I first looked at the product, and I remember my friend saying to me, did you know there's a business behind this? And of course I was, really? Tell me more. Because at that time I felt like I was stuck in a job that I really hated. One of my girls calls it a soul-sucking job. That's how I could describe it. I was in a soul-sucking job. I just felt so unappreciated and undervalued. I was in a really negative environment. I felt like I couldn't actually help people the way I wanted to help people because I felt like I was just watching people die, and I wanted to help them live. I just watched my dad pass away with cancer, and I thought, I don't ever want to see anybody die like that. It was just horrible, and I don't think anybody should. So I think preventative medicine is so important. So for me, those things were important, but also the fact that my husband and I wanted to be able to travel. You know, we're older and we're getting, you know, looking more at wanting to have the dreams that we want as our children are older and they're starting to leave home. We have a life now, but then I looked at our income and I thought there's no way that we could get this on the income that we've got. So something had to change. So what happened was when my friend told me about this business, of course, like most of us, we're pretty skeptical, right? I was pretty skeptical. I come from the 90s, you know, when there was all these network marketing business, and some of them were pretty dodgy. And I must admit I was burnt quite badly. And so I came in with this perception of, is this what they're all like? Is it one of those things, one of those pyramid thingies that is just going to scam everybody? But actually, when I looked into it, I realised that if you look at any traditional business, any at all, this is actually what it looks like. So there's your pyramid. CEO sitting at the top. There's different levels. And of course, there's all these people, this front line down the bottom, right? So I'll talk a little bit about my experience. So this was me. I was down here, and I was at the time a support worker, and I was working really long, unsociable hours. I was capped at my pay. I couldn't get any higher. There was no way I was going to be able to get any higher. And I was told when I could go to the toilet, when I could take leave, when I could take sick leave or get paid for sick leave, and what hours that I had to work. And I just found it really difficult in terms of freedom, because all the hours that I could work were unsociable hours, and that was when I wanted to have my time with my family and with my husband. So it didn't really work. And the other thing is limited in income, wasn't getting anywhere. So I thought, well, the only way you're going to be able to get anywhere is to move up, right? So I applied for a job at a higher level, and I applied a few times, and it just didn't work. I was either not skilled enough, not qualified enough, I wasn't the right person. And what happens is, in a traditional business, when you try and move up in the industry or the company, you've got, as you move up, there's less positions available. But also what you find often is there's more competition within the company, but also from outside the company, right? And that makes it really difficult. And so a lot of people don't get jobs. I was sitting unemployed for 2 years before I could find a job. And that's really hard. And even if you do move up into these positions, you get paid more, but you don't always have the best lifestyle, because often you have more stress because there's more responsibility. Especially when you're up here in the position of CEO. Because, you think they're doing all right, and yes, financially they are, but by this point, not only do they have a lot of outgoings to pay, which is really high, but also they're pretty much married to the job because the stress is so high. So, and then of course, I'm just going to flip this on its head, and I'm going to talk about one of the reasons why I jumped into Juice Plus, because this is what Juice Plus looks like. Still has the levels, the same as a traditional business. Our pinnacle position is NMD, and we all start at the bottom. But the really good thing about Juice Plus is that when you start at the bottom, you don't have to be specifically skilled in any area. You can come in at any point with any qualification or any skill. You don't have to have anything. You can be a mum at home who just wants to contribute to the income, the family income, or get some extra pocket money, or you can be someone who actually can't work because they've got a disability, or maybe they're too unwell, or even someone that's unemployed, like I was for such a long time and couldn't actually get a job. You can even work this around your current full-time job. So it doesn't matter what you do, you can get in. The other thing, really cool thing about it, is you also can move up at any level that you choose to. So you don't have someone telling you, no, you can't have this job. You have the freedom because there is no competition. And as you move up, it's all because you want to do it and you are supported by your team. So if you decide you want to, just earn a little bit of extra income, like $200 a month or something, just to go out for dinner or something, you can do that. If you decide you want to earn a little bit more, maybe $1,000 a month, just so you can contribute more to the family income, you can do that. But if you want to actually make this your full-time gig and earn a 6-figure income, you can do that too. And there's no competition whatsoever. You are supported by your entire team all around you. And that's what's so awesome about it. And the other thing is, of course, you can do this in your own time. So you can create your own hours. You can take this anywhere with you. I mean, I travelled for 9 weeks on my honeymoon with this job because it's all online. All you need is Wi-Fi and a phone, and you can do this anywhere. And of course, you can choose your own hours, so it doesn't matter how many hours you put in. If you decide you want something out of it, you've got to put the effort in, and you will get rewarded for it. So that's pretty much how that side of it works. But, there are a few other myths as well. And so I'm going to pass you on over to the lovely Pauline. And Pauline's just going to dispel a few other myths around it. Here you are.
Sorry. Thanks, Tans. Hi, everybody. So I'm just going to talk about, I guess what happens is a question that comes up. Like Tans, I was the same, hated my job, needed something else, just like a lot of us. But the biggest question was, do I know enough people? When I first came into this, and that was the scary thing, was thinking I have all these friends and I have my family, but would any of these guys be interested in doing what I'm doing, or even want to know about what I'm doing? But it's pretty easy because, I'm sorry, I am a left-hander, so can you see? So it's pretty easy because it starts here like this with me, and all I did was introduce what I do to 2 more people. So I introduced Juice Plus, the product, all about it, to Sonia and Robin. And I just talked about it. They got interested. They liked it. They got on board. But then they branch out, and all of a sudden they're introducing people here, there, and everywhere. And then all of a sudden you start moving in these directions here. So it's not about who you know or how many people you know. I mean, you could have 5 friends on Facebook. You could have 5,000 people on Facebook. All it comes down to is how you tell your story, and that's all it is. We're not selling this product. We're just sharing it. As you've listened tonight, the results are totally amazing. And so 9 times out of 10, people that know you, that have seen a post of yours on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever you're doing, have seen how you've been prior, and then all of a sudden they are interested in what gets you so excited. And before you know it, they're taking part of what you're doing, not necessarily being on the product or joining, but they're taking part and are interested in it, and therefore sharing it with other people. I was lucky. I mean, my story was amazing, but I didn't have to go very far with my friends. My friends and family weren't really interested in this side of it, but I just took one person to get excited with me, and hello, you've got people phoning you and talking, and and it comes up at a barbecue or a party or whatever. You can't help but get excited about this product. It's just amazing. I love it. It's changed my life, and I jumped on board with an ad that I saw on Facebook about earning some extra income, and at the time that I answered it, it sort of made sense, but I turned it down twice. I wasn't interested. It wasn't for me. And then I got approached again, a few months down the track to see if the timing was right. And this time around it was. So 7 months ago, I took the plunge, and even though I was skeptical, because I was very skeptical, but, I did the research, I looked into it like you all will do, and found that, it's an amazing product, but an amazing company. And, I hated working for peanuts every week. I hated bills coming to my letterbox. I have no money to do things with family or go anywhere, and both of us working full-time and running our own business at the same time just to survive week to week. So it really got to a stage where, we had to give up our own business because, one, it was so tiring and killing us, mentally and emotionally, but it was also financially killing us because, like a traditional business, you therefore are putting money into it to keep it going. You have to, support when it gets, crappy times, and you have to inject your own money into it. And, at the end of the day, working 7 days, that's pretty much what we were doing. It was pretty shit. It got to the point where our health suffered. So when I answered this ad, I knew I had nothing to lose. It came at a right time. I wanted it as a part-time, but the potential that it could be full-time. So 6 months, 7 months down the track, I am still learning, and that's a great thing about this business, is that you learn at your own pace. You learn along with others that are so damn supportive, and you end up with a really fantastic network group that become your family. And I know that I'm in the right place at the right time right now, and I love to be able to help others and get to that stage too. So my future, I can't wait to see what my future holds, but my future looks, for me, is no money issues. I get to travel when I want to and enjoy life because we can. So, if you have the slightest bit interest in this, look into it, get on board, and search the person that, invited you, because, you're in for a win. But thanks, Tans.
Thanks for sharing that, beautiful. It was really nice to hear your story. I haven't heard your business story before.
Yeah, normally it's a product.
I know. Just such a fabulous product story. Thank you so much for that, for sharing.
You're welcome.
So now I'm going to pass you on over to the lady of the hour. You get the floor, Cinnamon. Yeah, look at Nora go. I love that. So I'm gonna unmute you, Honey Bun, and you can share us your lovely story.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for supporting me tonight, for starters. If I start hacking in the middle of it, that's my bad health because I haven't started. Now, there is a few of you on here that do know me, and those few people know that I've had a pretty full-on past few years. Let's call it about 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that. Within all of that, lots has happened. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I've moved entire households, my own, 7 times in 5 years. I've had about 9 months where I was literally couch surfing and pretty much homeless with my toddler and my dog. I've planned, organised, paid for and ended a marriage. I've fought for 3 years in a really messy family court battle. And really this has all left me quite mentally, physically and emotionally drained. And not looking after myself as I normally would have, not focusing on my nutrition and my health as I believe is so important. And my health has definitely decreased. It seems like over the last 6 months, it's almost like when life gets better and things start to ease up on you, that's when your health really, really shows its tolls. I've been physically exhausted, which isn't something I'm used to. I'm used to having lots of energy, and just not able to bounce back from being sick like I'm so used to. That's really shown me a lot as far as how important it is to really stick to those core beliefs of nutrition and whole food and just a bit of self-care, and how important it is also to have your own back, to be able to financially back yourself as much as physically and emotionally. So I think in lots of ways it's a real mind, body, soul kind of 3-tiered thing for me. And it's really shown me how nutrition affects you on such a wider scale, you know, just your clarity of thought, your ability to be able to emotionally cope with things. That's definitely been hard for me over the last few years. I've been in some pretty dark places. And I want to be able to uphold and improve my own health, obviously, but the health of my family and the nutrition of the people around me. It's a passion of mine. I'm a trained chef, so it's always been heavily ingrained in my life. I've always wanted to educate other people around health and sort of nutrient awareness, I suppose. I don't feel like enough people out there have that information available to them on sort of a daily basis. And I want to be able to contribute to a better awareness of, you know, how your own health impacts things like your emotions or your ability to cope mentally. And I guess I believe it all starts with what you actually put in, because if you only put in the bad stuff, you're not going to get much good out. I feel really blessed because I've actually watched 2 really close people over the last year or so utterly transform. One of them is my cousin Hannah, who was on but now had to go and put her kids to bed. She started out when I first met her, she'd only had some of her many kids and was working in a cafe. Her partner was working in a business as well. They were doing well, they were successful, but she looked really tired. She seemed like she didn't have a lot of time, the time she wanted to spend on her family. In the last year, I have watched her flip. And when I say flip, I mean you get the whole lot and you turn it on its head, flip her life upside down. And I've never seen her happier, healthier, more energy. Her kids are, you know, used to eat maybe not so great. Now what I see them eating and fueling their bodies with and what they're learning from their mum is just incredible. And then, of course, the beautiful Tanya. I've watched her journey. When I met her, she was in pain. I remember a few days when she was coming to help my mum, and she, had sore hands, and it was cold, and she wasn't feeling the greatest. And over the last year, I've sneakily kept an eye on these two people, and all I can say is how much they have really blossomed and changed and transformed not only their lives but their health. I've seen Tanya travel to some pretty amazing places and make me feel pretty inspired about what you're actually able to achieve if you just really put your heart and soul into it. So it's been a year, and I sort of decided, well, I better get off the fence. You're either in or you're out, I suppose. And I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being tired. And I'm sick of being broke. I'd like to be able to, hi Becca, go up and see my sister Becca. Go and visit my sister Tracy. All of my family. I've got a massive family up in Whangarei. And I just, at the moment, I feel really bound by a lack. Whatever area you want to point it at, it could be a lack in my health, it could be a lack in my finances, definitely a lack in some of the mentalities that go on some days. And it's that whole thing of you have to be committed to change, and I really am, and I'm really committed to my kids and just being a better, healthier, more vibrant me. And if I can share that with my community, people around me, why not? It seems like a bit of an oxymoron to me. Why would you not share it with people? It's the fact that there's nothing added and it's just a whole food makes me really excited, because I'm seriously skeptical and don't really do supplements and shakes and things like that very easily. I believe that most people's problems come from not eating. So for me, this really does feel like that bridge. And this feels like an amazing opportunity. I've got to thank everybody who's come before me in this business that has actually got it to a point where I know about it, I've heard about it, and I've seen these transformations myself. So thank you all. Thank you all for your support. Thank you all for sharing your stories. And I'm really excited to be on this journey for myself and to share it with anybody who wants to jump on board. That's pretty much me, Tanya.
I'm so glad you jumped off the fence. Saying. Such a nice story. I love it, son, and it's such a pleasure to have you with us, honey. You're just awesome. You're just a little star already. A shining star out there changing the world already. This is just going to give you another vehicle to do that. So good to have you with us. So thank you for sharing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you guys all how we get paid, because don't we want to know all of that stuff? Because we talk about how we hate being broke, right? So let's find out how we can actually make money in this thing, because it's actually very super cool. So for me, I actually, after 4 months of being in the business, I was actually able to step away out of my soul-sucking job. And so now this is my full-time thing, which is really cool. I get to do this all day and choose where I do it, which is just awesome. So first of all, what I'm going to tell you about is how we actually share. So what we do is we use UTR. And so first of all, what we do is we actually use the product. So we become a product of the product. So we are taking the product and we are just sharing it with people. So it's like referral marketing. So you would say to somebody, if somebody asks you who's a good hairdresser or what's a good restaurant or what's a good place to go on holiday in, that's exactly what we are doing with the product. So if someone says that they're not feeling well or they're really tired, or maybe they're broke or whatever, we would share what we're doing with others, and our results and what results we have had from it. So that's pretty much how we do it. So we're using the product We're talking about our results. That's pretty much it. That's pretty simple. And we do this either by speaking to people directly, or we do this through social media. So it works really, really well. I get to watch you, son. I can see your face kissing everybody. I'm lucky while I'm doing this. You're so cute. So basically, you know, Ash mentioned this right from the start, that Juice Plus is a company with heart, and they are a company with heart. They have been around for nearly 30 years, and they have never once paid for marketing or advertising. What they do instead is they actually put all that money that any other company, traditional business, would pay in marketing, they put it into a big pool, and what they do is they pay the customer. So they're paying us. So when we refer a customer to the company, they're paying us. And that's called retail profit. So we get paid 3 different ways. This is one of the ways that we get paid. So every time we connect a customer with the company, and by the way, they do everything for us. We don't have to have a starter kit. We don't hold any product. We don't ship or deliver any product. We don't take the customer's money. The company does all that for us. So all we're doing is connecting them, and then we get paid a retail profit from that. Another way that we get paid is we get paid in commission. And so this commission is based on how big our team is. So when we talked about the popcorn effect, how our team grows and the different levels that we move up, as our team grows and as we move up the levels, we get paid more and more commission. And this is very cool money, because this is called our residual income or our beach money. So this is when, you know, we're lying on the beach with our cocktail and our bikinis, you know, on a tropical island. We're getting paid in our account for doing that. That's what our beach money is. So that's pretty cool. And the other way that we get paid, which is very cool too, this is actually really fun. So you can imagine as your team grows, you can actually earn quite a lot of money from this. These are our bonuses. So these are our fun money. So I'm just going to explain it a little bit. Don't worry too much about the abbreviations and what they are. They don't really mean much. So when you start on the business, you start as a virtual franchisee. Within the first 10 days, you can actually move to DVF. And when you do, the company gives you $100. Now, it's not very much, but it's just enough for the company to go, hey, you got your first few customers. Well done. You're awesome. We're going to give you some money for that. And then within the first month, usually, you can actually get to SDVF, and when you do, you get a $400 bonus. But the really, really cool thing about this business is that it's because it's a teaching business, because we talked before about how we support each other, but we also teach the people that come underneath you. So when you teach someone else to get to SDVF, you also get a $400 bonus. So when the next level is SC, and this is a $600 bonus. And again, a $600 bonus for our teacher. The next level is SSC, and this is a $1,200 bonus and a $1,200 bonus for our teacher. The next level is a QNMD, and that is a $1,500 bonus and a $1,500 bonus for our teacher. And then the pinnacle position of the company is NMD, and that is a $3,000 bonus, which is a pretty nice bonus. But by the time you get to this position, you're earning between $80,000 and $100,000 just in residual income at this point. So the teacher doesn't need a $3,000 bonus at this point. So as you can see there, it's actually quite easy to earn as much money as you want to. And this really is a company with a heart. And honestly, I have looked at a lot of network marketing businesses, and I think this is the fairest business that I've actually seen that actually pay you really well. And it's not hard to do. You don't have to get to a certain You don't have to earn a certain amount or spend a certain amount within a month. You just get paid on what you do every month, which is fantastic. So on that note, I'm just going to say thank you again all for coming tonight, for supporting Cinnamon and her new venture. And, you know, if you're sitting there and you're going, oh, you know, this sounds really interesting, I really want to know more, get your questions answered. So go to Cinnamon, ask her questions, we can help you out with that. But if you're sitting there going, oh, I don't know if this is for me, that's fine too. It's not for everyone, but you might know someone that will got you, and you might think, well, this is for them. This person could really love this. Then absolutely get in touch with Cinnamon and just let her know so that we can have, you know, we can support that person. We can get all your questions answered, whatever they are. So don't sit there wondering. Don't be a fence sitter like Cinnamon. Hey, because that didn't get you anywhere, did it, really? Yeah, I mean, everybody is different, but honestly, you can do what I do and jump in after 4 days. It's fantastic. But really, and fear is totally normal, and that skepticism is totally normal too. I think probably about 95% of us come into this business with some kind of skepticism around it, whether it be around the product or the business or the industry. So, you know, it's totally normal, and if you just ask your questions, then you'll feel a lot better about it. So thanks again, everyone, for coming. I'm going to say farewell now and stop recording.